Hi friends, I'm Kainath. You are watching my channel Stars of Terra. Let's jump straight into today's video.
A human baby enters the world more helpless than almost any other mammal. It cannot walk, it cannot feed itself, it cannot even hold up its own head. And yet that same fragile creature will one day reshape rivers, split atoms, walk on the moon, and send its thoughts across invisible waves around the planet. Weak at birth, dominant by adulthood, that is the paradox of the adaptable ones. 200,000 years ago, on the savannas of Africa, our ancestors were not the strongest. They were not the fastest. A cheetah could outrun them. A lion could overpower them. Even the cold night could kill them. But something strange was happening inside their skulls. Their brains were growing, not just in size, but in flexibility, in imagination, in the ability to learn from yesterday and prepare for tomorrow. When the climate shifted and forests gave way to grasslands, many species disappeared. The adaptable ones did not. They changed their diets, they fashioned tools, they learned to hunt in groups. Cooperation became their superpower. Around 70,000 years ago, something extraordinary occurred. Humans began telling stories. This may sound small, but it changed everything. Stories allowed tribes to share knowledge across generations. They could warn of predators, describe distant water sources, and explain social rules. More importantly, they could imagine things that did not physically exist: gods, nations, laws. These shared beliefs allowed strangers to cooperate on a scale never seen before in nature. While Neanderthals were strong and intelligent, they lived in smaller, tighter groups. Modern humans formed vast networks, and when climates fluctuated, again during the Ice Age, it was not brute force that ensured survival, it was adaptability. Humans crafted clothing from animal hides. They built shelters. They crossed frozen land bridges into new continents. By 50,000 years ago, they had reached Australia. By 15,000, they were in the Americas. Every environment presented new challenges: dense jungles, frozen tundras, arid deserts, and each time the adaptable ones reinvented themselves. Consider the Arctic. Temperatures dropped to -40 degrees. Darkness swallows months at a time. Yet the Inuit developed insulated clothing from caribou hides, kayaks for hunting seals, and intricate knowledge of sea ice patterns. Meanwhile, in the Sahara, humans learned to track scarce water, navigate endless dunes, and survive scorching heat. The same species, completely different strategies. This flexibility did not stop at survival. Around 12,000 years ago, another revolution began. Instead of following migrating animals, some groups decided to stay in one place. They domesticated plants and animals. Agriculture was born: wheat in the Fertile Crescent, rice in Asia, maize in the Americas. This was not a single invention, but multiple independent experiments across the globe. Settlements grew into cities, cities into civilizations. Writing emerged to keep track of grain, trade, and laws. Suddenly, knowledge no longer depended solely on memory. It could be stored, copied, and improved. But adaptability is not always gentle. It can be disruptive. When humans developed metallurgy, they did not just create tools, they created weapons. Empires expanded, cultures clashed, technologies spread, sometimes peacefully, sometimes violently. Then came a turning point that no earlier human could have imagined: the scientific revolution. For most of history, people explained the world through myth and tradition, but a new method emerged: observe, test, question, repeat. From this process came steam engines, electricity, vaccines, radio waves. Within just a few centuries, humans transformed from horse riders to pilots. In 1903, the Wright brothers flew a powered aircraft for 12 seconds. 66 years later, humans stood on the moon. Think about that pace of change. For hundreds of thousands of years, human life changed slowly. Then, in the blink of cosmic time, skyscrapers rose, computers shrank from room-sized machines to devices that fit in a pocket, and billions of people connected through digital networks. Adaptability accelerated itself. Yet this story is not only about triumph. It carries tension, because the same flexibility that allowed humans to survive ice ages now confronts a new challenge, one they created themselves: climate change, deforestation, mass extinction. The adaptable ones have become so powerful that they alter the planet's systems. Carbon levels rise, oceans warm, species vanish at rates unseen in millions of years, and here lies the suspense. Can the adaptable ones adapt to the consequences of their own success? History offers clues. During the Black Death in the 14th century, Europe lost perhaps a third of its population. Societies reeled, economies collapsed, yet survivors reorganized labor systems, advanced medical knowledge, and reshaped social structures. After world wars, shattered nations rebuilt through cooperation and innovation. Even on a personal level, adaptability defines us. The human brain remains plastic throughout life. Stroke patients can relearn speech. Children can grow up bilingual. Without confusion, immigrants can move across the globe and blend traditions into something entirely new. Culture itself is a living experiment, and then there is space. When astronauts aboard the International Space Station orbit Earth, their muscles weaken without gravity, their bones lose density, but they exercise, adjust, and continue. Private companies now plan missions to Mars. The Adaptable Ones once confined to African savannas, prepare to live on another planet. But adaptability is not merely technological, it is emotional, it is social, it is the ability to forgive, to reconcile, to cooperate across vast differences in an age of division. Amplified by digital algorithms, that may be our greatest test. Imagine a child born today. By the time they are 30, artificial intelligence may collaborate with them daily. Renewable energy may power most cities. Diseases once feared may be preventable. Or if adaptability fails, they may face intensified storms, water shortages, and social unrest. The future bends toward whichever path the adaptable ones choose. There is a quiet irony in all this. Humans often celebrate strength, dominance, certainty. Yet our true advantage has always been uncertainty, the willingness to admit we do not know and to change course when evidence demands it. The dinosaurs ruled for over 160 million years. Their reign ended in catastrophe. Homo sapiens have existed for a fraction of that time. Whether they endure will depend not on physical power, but on cognitive and moral flexibility. In laboratories, scientists edit genes with CRISPR technology. In remote villages, farmers adjust crops to shifting rainfall patterns. In classrooms, students learn coding languages that did not exist a decade ago. Everywhere, adaptation unfolds in small, quiet acts. Perhaps that is the secret. Adaptability is not a single dramatic leap. It is millions of adjustments accumulated over time, a tool shaped from stone, a word invented to describe a new idea, a bridge built between strangers. The adaptable ones are not perfect. They are impulsive, emotional, sometimes destructive. But they are also curious, creative, and capable of extraordinary cooperation. They can imagine futures that do not yet exist and then work to build them. And so the story continues, from firelight flickering on cave walls to satellites circling Earth, from tribal myths to quantum physics, from survival in the wild to stewardship of an entire planet. The journey of the adaptable ones is unfinished. The question echoing through history is no longer whether humans can survive nature, it is whether they can adapt fast enough to live wisely within it. The fragile baby, the toolmaker, the storyteller, the city builder, the moonwalker, all are the same species. All are the adaptable ones.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video.